What's up, everybody? We've got a hot 10 list that you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you go grab your vibe juice and meet me back here in the comic room. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of, Keep It Comics. As always, I am your host, C3. No, you guys are not bugging. The background has changed. All right? So, I didn't make an announcement because I didn't realize how tedious it would be. But the reason I wasn't able to put out another video last week was because I was in the process of moving. And we all know how hard and time-consuming moving is. So now that I have moved a few bags out of the way, I decided now's the perfect time to do a video. So, welcome back to all our subscribers. Welcome to all our new subscribers. And if this is your first time stopping by, checking out the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And for all of us that are here at the moment, if you stick around to the end, I will show you what I picked up last week. And then I will also do an unboxing to show you what came in the mail at my prior address. All right? I appreciate each and every one of you. I couldn't do this without you. You guys know that I love you and you are the best. Oh, and just in case you haven't noticed, yes, the original Keep It Comics, right? And it also comes with the logo on the side. Don't hate, congratulate. Because you know how we do over here. It's good vibes only, baby. So if you guys are ready to rock and roll, grab your vibe juice, and let's get the show started. So, coming in at number 10, the first book is published by Marvel. It was released on May 1st, 1965. The title of this book is Avengers, issue number 16. Yes, the key factor to this book is it is Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. It is the day that they joined the Avengers. So the key factor to this book is it's when Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, they all joined the Avengers. Now, let's talk stats on this. The last recorded sale was on June 5th of 2022 for a raw copy, and that book sold for $360. And this book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 52.20%. Now, the average sale for CGC 7.5 is $360. The average sale for a raw copy in this book is $159. There has been 374 raw copies that have been sold, and there has been 128 graded copies that have sold, giving us a grand total of 502 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. I don't know about you, but I can see that this book is on the move. It is something that I am looking for adding. I am looking forward to adding to my collection, and I'm watching this book at the moment. So I just want to see it, the prices go down just a little bit more before I strike while the iron is cold. But definitely, if you are in the market for Avengers issue number 16, keep your eye on this book, all right? Now, here are some more stats. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was back on September 10th of 2020, where that book sold for $19,200. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I say I'm going to keep my eye on this book, because I need for this book to just come down a little bit more for me, right? Like, I know I'm not going to be able to get this 9.8, but I am looking for something in that mid to high range, probably that 8.5 to that 9.4 type of range, you know? So I'm looking to add that to my collection. And the fair market value has this book resting at $360 for the MCG of 7.5, which is the most common grade, which is a 7.5. So Avengers issue number 16, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye out on this book, all right? Now, the next book we want to talk about, coming in at number 9. This book was published by DC. It was released on March 1st of 2006. The title of this book is Infinite Crisis. And I'm talking about the number 1, the Jim Lee regular cover. Infinite Crisis, issue number 1, Jim Lee, the regular cover, right? And the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Jamie Reyes, the Blue Beetle. Yes. Now, there has been a lot of talk about the Blue Beetle making an appearance. So everybody's speculating that it's going to be Jamie Reyes. And we never know, but it doesn't hurt to be ahead of the game. Let's talk stats about this book now. All right, so the last recorded sale was on May 28th of 2022, where a 9.8 sold for $380. Now, keep in mind, this alone shows you that DC Grails are not dead. Like, so DC still has a formidable amount of comic book grails that the community is still trying to get their hands on. And this is one of those books. It continues to change hands on the secondary market. This book is currently trending upward at 39.3%. The average sale for CGC 9.8 in this book is $348. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $35.13. Now, if I were going after this book, I myself would try to grab that raw copy for a mid to high grade, and if I decided to send it in, see what the grade would come back as. There has been 559 raw copies of this book that have changed hands, and there has been 140 graded copies that have changed hands, giving us a total of 699 copies of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. Now, the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on October 27th of 2021, where that book sold for a nice $550. Yes. So just think about from then to now, there may be a little wiggle room there for you to negotiate. You never know. The person on the other end may want to see somebody else have that book. So never be afraid to negotiate a price. No price is written in stone unless the seller says on the open, price is non-negotiable. At that point, I would still ask. Me, I'm a knucklehead. I'm still going to ask. Yeah, what about, come on, you never know. Money on the wood make the game go good, right? You never know, man. So it's always worth a shot. A closed mouth don't get fed. All right. So fair market value has this book resting at $35.13 for the raw copy. Scared money never make one. Scared money don't make none. If you're in the market for Infinite Crisis issue number 1, keep your eye on this book. All right. Now, coming in at number 8, ladies and gentlemen, this is another Marvel title. This book was released on July 1st, 1974. And the title of this book is Captain Marvel, issue number 33. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the key factor to this is it's the retelling of Thomas's origin story. That's it. It's the retelling of Thomas's origin story, right? There you have it. The retelling of no, I'm kidding. It's the retelling of Thanos' origin story. All right? I'm just being silly. I just got off from a long day's work. I'm happy. I'm able to do a video. I'm back doing the things that I like to do. So don't mind my silliness. The last recorded sale for this book was back on June 5th of 2022, where a raw copy sold for $28.17. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 34%. The average sale for CGC 9.4 is $264, and the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $21.55. There has been 502 raw copies that have sold on the secondary market and 101 graded copies that have moved on the secondary market, giving us a total of 603 copies of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. Now, the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on September 16th of 2018, where that book sold for $1,599.99. Can I borrow a penny, please, so we can just make that $1,600? Oh my goodness. Yes. $1,600, ladies and gentlemen. And fair market value has this book resting at $264 for the most common grade of 9.4. All right. So Captain Marvel, issue number 33, the retelling of Thanos' origin, is about the, you got to weigh out your options. Let's see, a raw copy sold for $28.17. That makes it feasible. In my eyes, that's a book worth going after, right? Because I remember back in the day, origin stories meant something, right? Nowadays, people don't seem too keen on going after the origin stories, but me, myself, I still like collecting origins, right? So, Captain Marvel, issue number 33. Pay attention. It's on the move, ladies and gentlemen. Moving right along. Coming in at number 7. Excuse me. Let me take a second. Happy to be back. Oh, yes. I needed that. Number 7, ladies and gentlemen. This book is published by Marvel. It was released on November 1st, 1969. Good year, I might add. The title of this book is The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 78. Yes. And the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of the Prowler. Now, some might say that I should already have this book in my collection. But believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I do not. And I have had so many opportunities to add this to my collection, and I had continued to pass on this book. I told you earlier, I'm a knucklehead. Sometimes I just don't do things the way I should. I don't know. I don't know, but I should have had this book. But I need to get this book in my collection. And this is the information that I want to share with you because this is what I see. It's looking very promising. I think it's time for me to pull the trigger. Remember what I always say, strike while the iron is cold. And this is what the numbers look like. The last recorded sale was on June 5th, 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $113.05. Yeah, so I'm thinking that it's time for me to go ahead and snatch this book. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 31.69%. The average sale for CGC 9.0 in this book was $880, right? And the average sale for a raw copy is $114. There's been 541 copies, raw copies that have sold, and 109 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 650 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. I myself am really, really interested in getting this book into my collection. The more I get into this Miles Morales story that they got going on and where it's taking him, the Prowler may not have been such a big character in Peter Parker's Spider-Man world, but in this Miles Morales world, I'm starting to think that the Prowler is going to be a big deal because it's more of a family type of environment that they're creating for Miles Morales, putting all these particular characters around him. And the uncle is playing a major part, so I want to make sure that I get this particular first appearance in my collection. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book was back on January 2nd of 2022, where that book sold for $8,400 for a 9.8. Yes, indeedy, Luigi. That's a lot of scribble. But nonetheless, somebody might want that 9.8. Me, myself, I may have to go for a lower grade copy, but a low grade is better than no grade. You know what it do, right? So, fair market value has this book resting at $114 for the mid to high grade of the raw copy. All right? So keep your eye out on The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 78. It's doing numbers on the secondary market. Now, moving right along. This book is published by Marvel. It was released on August 1st, 1992. The title of this book is Ghost Rider, issue number 28. Yeah, finally, right? How many of us have at least 5 to 10 copies of this book in the collection? Like, we've been just grabbing this book. This book has been in the dollar bin for so long. It's good to see that this book is finally getting its just due. It's finally getting some attention and it's moving up in the market, right? The key factor to this book is it is the first cameo of the Midnight Sun, first appearance of the Caretaker, first appearance of Lilith, and it's the first appearance of Meat Market, right? Now, last recorded sale was on June 5th of 2022, where a raw copy sold for $26. And like I said, this book had been in the back issues for the longest, man, and we could grab this book for $5 or less, right? So it's good to see that this book is finally getting some attention. This book is currently trending up at 29.86%. A CGC 9.8 in this book is averaging about $154, and the average sale for a raw copy is $22.50. There's been 1,893 raw copies that have sold, and there has been 202 graded copies, giving us a total of 2,095 copies of this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. And that is a beautiful thing, because that means that the comic book community still believe in this book and they see the potential that it has. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back in September of 2021, where that book sold for $550. That's very promising, ladies and gentlemen. And the fair market value has this book resting at $154 for the most common grade of the 9.8. So if you think back to 2021, where the 9.8 sold for $550, look at that room that we have for profit and potential growth for those of us who are flipping comics. I myself, I am just a collector. I don't sell any of my comics, but I know many of you out there do. So this is good information to share. If you could purchase this book for $550 back then, there might not be much room for profit, but today it appears that you can get it for about $150, and there's plenty of room for growth there. If you want to do a quick flip, or even if you just want that 9.8 in your collection, that $154 is a perfect price point for buy-in. All right, so Ghost Rider issue number 28, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested, those are the specs on it. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are halfway through our top 10 list. Before I go any further, please allow me to take the time to do what I always do, which is stop, take a deep breath, and thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel, and acknowledging that I could not do this without you guys. You guys have taken this small channel and grown it into 2,500 subscribers. I could not have done that on my own. I appreciate each and every one of you for all your love and all your support. You know I love the comment section, because I love when we communicate with one another and we just chop it up and share information. Shout out to my boy Dave, who continues to be a major support on the other side of things. You know, great collector, big into his comics, loves Deadpool, is a tattoo artist, does a lot of things outside just collecting comics. And I really, really appreciate him just being there, you know, just for a little communication from time to time, a little socializing, and, you know, outside of doing the comic collecting thing that we do. He just recently went to the little Comic-Con that we have over here where we live at, grabbed a couple of books. I'm a little jealous, but it's all good, dude. You had to do you. I was out of town, so I can't be mad at you, right? And just thanking everybody. I just want to thank everybody, because you know how we do over here. It's always about good vibes only. We want to share the love and the passion for collecting. We don't need all the extra stuff. There's enough of that going out on in the world, so we just want to disconnect from all that and enjoy nothing but good vibes, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you guys like the shirt. I don't wear it too often. This is only like my second time wearing it. Very nice. Hopefully one day we can get some of these out to the people. If you're interested in like a shirt or something, leave a comment in the comment section if you think I should start putting these out on the market, or do I just keep this one for myself? I can be selfish like that, right? Yeah, I can just keep it. I don't have to. It's cheaper this way. All right? So listen. And don't forget, if you're hanging around and you're going to stick around to the end, I'll show you some of the comic books that I picked up last week, and I'll also do an unboxing to show you what came in the mail. All right? So, once again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I don't take it lightly. If this is your first time stopping by, checking out the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Make sure you ring that bell, so every time we do this, you guys will get that notification. All right? So, without further ado, I'm going to take another sip. And now we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program. Good vibes only, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in at number 5. This book is published by Marvel. It was released on June 24th of 1980. The title of this book is Star Wars, issue number 39. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Rogue Squadron. The first cameo of Rogue Squadron. Let me correct that, because I know how you guys are in the comment section. Yo, that's the cameo. The cameo happened over, that's not the first full. I get it. I got it, right? Now, let's talk specs. The The last recorded sale was on June 5th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $33.18. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 18.48%. And the average sale for a CGC 9.6 is $147, which is not a bad price point for buy-in for this particular book. Excuse me. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $28.06. I might have that in my pocket. I might have $28 in my pocket, right? Raw copies are going, there's been 375 raw copies. So raw copies are flying right now. And there's been 125 graded copies, giving us a total of 500 copies of this book that have changed hands so far on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 of this book was back on October 18th of 2021, where that book sold for $660. Now, fair market value has this book resting at $147 for the most common grade of the 9.6. Now, even though there's a significant difference when you have something CGC'd when it comes to the 9.8 and the 9.6, and you look at these prices, you can still see that there is still some room for growth there. If you were able to get your hands on a 9.8 in this book, I doubt very seriously if you had to pay that $660. You could probably get that for a much cheaper cost. Now, when I look at the 9.6 and I see $147 going for the fair market value, that tells me that there's still room for negotiation there. So I would definitely, and excuse that, I'm by the window. Yeah, so you hear the hog outside passing by. So I would definitely have a conversation with the owner of the book or the seller of the book to see if I can negotiate that price down a little bit lower. All right, so Star Wars issue number 39, cameo appearance. It has a cameo appearance of Rogue Squadron. All right. Coming in at number 4, ladies and gentlemen, this book too is published by Marvel. It was released on December 1st, 1994. The title of this book is Wolverine, issue number 8, the regular cover. Yes. And the key factor to this book is it is the first meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool. And I don't know about you guys, but I am crazy about this cover. I need this cover in my collection because that negative type image space artwork, man, I love that. And I just love how that black background up against that red looks, man. I need this in my collection badly. So I think now is the perfect time for me to go after it. Check these specs out. The last recorded sale was on March 22nd of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $27.55. And for me, I think that is absolutely perfect. That's like I said, I might have $28 in my pocket. So this is definitely a book that I'll be adding to my collection real soon. And this book is currently trending upward at 18.10%. And the average sale for a 9.6 of a CGC is $114. And I might actually go for that one. Because if you can get a nice high grade of this book for not a lot of money, I think you're winning. Because Deadpool is iconic. Wolverine is iconic. Their back and forth banter is iconic. So to have them in my collection with this particular comic book would mean a great deal to me. All right. The average sale for a raw copy of this book is $31.40. There has been 31 raw copies that have sold so far, and there has been 9 graded copies that have changed hands on the secondary market, giving us a total of 4 copies that have moved so far. Now, the highest known 9.8 sale was back on August 1st of 2020, where that book sold for $175. And for me, I'm thinking now's the perfect opportunity to strike. Strike while the iron is cold. And this is perfect price point for buy-in for me. That $114 for the 9.6 looks real good. Ain't no shame in my game. I got no problem with adding a 9.6 to my collection. None at all. Fair market value has this book resting at $114 for the 9.6. So if you're interested in Wolverine issue number 88, the regular cover, make sure you get yourself a copy of it. All right? Give me 1 second. A little warm. I should have turned the AC on. Ooh, wait. Excuse me. There we go. Is that all right? Was it okay that I did that in the middle of the video? Probably not, but I'm sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. We're at the top 3 comic books on this top 10 hot list, all right? Now, please stay focused because the numbers on this are going to blow your mind. Now, this, again, is a DC comic. And I'm telling you, don't sleep on DC. They're in the middle of restructuring, but they'll be back. So you're going to want these comics in your collection. This book was published by DC. It was released on May 18th of 2022. The title of this book is Catwoman, issue number 43. And the key factor to this book is it's just a blazing cover. It's the Souza Micah 1 in 25 variant cover. Just a blazing cover. This cover is straight fire, right? Last recorded sale was on May 29th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book went for $438 for a raw copy. That's how nice the artwork is. That's really nice artwork. $438 worth of nice artwork. This book is currently trending upwards, ladies and gentlemen, at 17.61%. The average sale for a raw copy of this book goes for about $324. Yes. Hey, average. About 325 to about $440 for this book in a raw copy. There's been 665 raw copies that have sold and 1 graded copy that have sold, giving us a total of 66 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market so far. The highest known sale for a raw copy was that sale back on May 29th of 2022, where that book sold for $438. Fair market value has this book resting at $324 for the most common raw grade. Yes, this book is doing numbers. So keep your eye out on this book if it's something you're interested in. Catwoman, issue number 43. Beautiful cover. Souza Micah does great artwork. Right? For sure. Coming in at number 2, this book was published by Marvel. It was released on August 10th, 1973. The title of this book, Supernatural Thrillers, issue number 5. Yeah, can't forget about the oldie but goodies. Come on, man. You can't consider yourself to be a collector if you're forgetting about all the collectibles. This is dope. Check the specs on it. It is the first appearance of the living mummy. I was always a fan of the mummies. I love my mummy. It is the first appearance of the living mummies. The last recorded sale was on June 5th of 2022, where a raw copy of this book sold for $221.17. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at at 17.43%. The average sale for a CGC 9.6 in this book is $773, while the average sale for a raw copy is about $145. There's been 237 raw copies that have sold, and there's been 29 graded copies that have changed hands, giving us a total of 266 copies of this book that has moved on the secondary market. This book continues to show significant gains. These books will always be wanted books. These books will always be in demand because of how old they are and because of the condition. Like if you could find this book in a well-kept condition, you're winning. And that's how I feel about it. So I may not be able to grab the most highest of grade in this book, but I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on this book in a decent grade that I can be proud of to display, in my collection, and just put it out on the stand from time to time. When I get comfortable with where I am right now, because I'm in my new home, I am going to put together my comic room in a way that I can have more of my collection out on display, but also protecting it from the sunlight on the outside. So I'm excited about where I am right now, and I'm excited about hanging out with you guys, and I'm excited about continuing to grow my collection. Life is good, ain't it though? Who has a better hobby than us? Nobody. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to our #1 hottest comic book of the week. This book is published by Now Publishing. It was released on August 1st, 1987. The title of this book is Speed Racer, issue #1. Yowza! Yes, remember Speed Racer? Come on, man. How many of you guys remember his brother, Racer X? Huh? I used to be like, come on, that's your brother, Speed. He was always trying to catch Racer X. Man, that's your brother, B. He's too fast for you. But I was always rooting for him, though. But yeah, this joint is fire. I had to put this on my list because I grew up watching Speed Racer. When I was digging through my collection, I had some higher numbers of his book in there, of his comic in there, but I didn't have #1. I was shocked. I was like, nah, this can't stand. C3, you gotta get his first appearance in there. So this is what prompted me to look him up. Now, these are the specs that I found. And so the key factor of this book is it is the never before seen origin of Speed Racer and is told for the first time. So this is the never before origin story that is told about Speed Racer for the first time, right? Now, last recorded sale was on June 2nd of 2022, where CGC 9.8 sold for $200. That's not bad, right? This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 0.14%. The average sale for a CGC 9.8 is that $200. The average sale for a raw copy of this book will run you about $29.79. There has been 85 raw copies that have sold, and there has been 10 graded copies that have sold, giving us a total of 95 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was back on June 2nd of 2022, where that book sold for $200. All right, so that $200 is the highest known sale for this book. Fair market value has this book resting at $29.79 for the raw copy. Okay, so if you're interested in this book, you might want to go the raw copy route, or you may want to grab that CGC 9.8. You're looking at spending about $200 in there. All right, but nonetheless, whatever you do, be wise about your decision making. Don't spend no more than you want to, and don't jump out the window without your parachute. All right. It's easy, okay? So that's our #1 hottest comic book of the week. Speed Racer, issue #1, published by Now Publishing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so as I promised, before I go, I'm going to show you some of the comic books that I picked up last week, and then we'll do an unboxing. All right, so I got my little bag right here. Now, mind you, I didn't go crazy. I didn't pick up a whole bunch of comic books, but I did pick up, a few that I just wanted to bring home and have around me, all right? So, one that I grabbed last week, I grabbed Black Panther, issue #6. This is the Alex Ross cover. And I also read this, and it was pretty good. I'm still very happy of the direction that this story is going in and how they're writing it. So, Black Panther, issue #6. The Alex Ross cover. And I picked up the Black Panther issue #6, the Peach Momoko Miss Marvel cover. Beautiful cover. Like that. Shout out to my boy Dave. He put me up on this. So when I saw it out there, I had to grab it. I was like, oh, that's the one he was talking about. I don't think there was a lot of those ordered. So it was definitely worth picking up. All right. So I'm gonna grab these. I'm gonna put this there. Now, the next book I want to show you that I got, I grabbed Bounty Hunters, issue #23, and this is the Lucasfilm 50th anniversary variant. Yes. The gold broider variant, what everybody's calling it. All right. And then I also grabbed Ghost Rider, issue number 3. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the 1 in 25. But it was going for $9.99, so I grabbed it. It's a dope cover. I think this is Greg Land. Leave a comment in the comment section. I could be wrong, but I think this is Land. Now, let's put these over here. Show you what else I got. All right, so I grabbed Miles Morales, issue number 38. I believe this is cover A. I read this story as well. Still loving, still enjoying Miles Morales. I like where they're taking him. Right now, they're in the Empire of the Spiders, where one of his clones, his evil clone, is probably the ruler of that particular area. And they get to meet the Spider Slasher, which is his sister. Well, I don't want to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil it. Get too excited doing what I'm doing. All right? But it's already next week. His sister, Spider Slasher. Get it. First appearance, her in the Spider Slasher suit. All right? Definitely get it. We have Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 38, the one with his sister on the cover, all grown up. Yes. So I'm wondering, are we going to get into that whole when was her first appearance thing? Well, we know it was her first appearance a while back when she was a baby. And, you know, for those that may have missed out, is that her first? I don't know. I'm just happy I got them. All right, I grabbed the facsimile of Moon Knight, issue number 1. Definitely happy to add that to my collection. I had just recently acquired the first appearance, well, his first solo appearance, right? I just recently acquired the first solo appearance. That's what this is. It's a facsimile of his first solo appearance, and I had just recently acquired that and added that to my collection. So happy about having that. I picked up The Closet, issue number 1. This is being written by James Tynion IV. I picked up Batman Beyond the White Knight. What is this? Issue number 3, I think this is. No, this is the showcase edition. Yep. And we have Darth Vader, issue number 23, the 50th Lucasfilm edition, limited edition, and is the first cover appearance of the Bad Batch. Yep, definitely have to have that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, and I don't know if you saw it, but my phone just gave me the alert that the battery was low. So I'm gonna see if I can pull this unboxing off before my phone dies. But if I don't, we're gonna do it like this, all right? It's good vibes only. Don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate, because no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, it's always about keeping it comics. All right? I'll see you guys next video. So let's pop this baby open and see what we got. Real quick. Let's hope I don't cut my hands. Let's hope I don't cut my hands. It's packaged very nice. Nice and secure. Are we still there? We're still there. So, here we go. Alrighty. We got some classic bubble wrap. You guys are still there? I feel like it's a race against the clock. I'll be happy if we can pull this off, though. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. All right. Okay, guys. Okay. Oh, okay. So, what I grabbed was Strange issue number 2. I love that cover. And I grabbed 2 more of the Jenny Frizzens Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 38 with her on the cover. Perfect. That, and there's another one. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not reading Miles Morales Spider-Man, you guys got to read it, man. It's awesome. I love how they're building that world around him. That character and world building is awesome. Now, let's see what else. Just to make sure. I think, oh, no, I actually have some more. I almost slept. All right, since you guys are still there. All right, check it out. So this is what else I got. A couple more. I got Dogs of London, issue number 1. And I got 2 copies of Avengers Forever, issue number 6. First cover appearance of the Titanium Man, who turns out to be something more at the end of the story. So check it out. Definitely 2 good reads. All right? Definitely good reads. I read those too. All right. Once again, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have your comic book list. Go out on the hunt. Be safe. Don't hurt anything, and don't let anything hurt you. Don't hurt anybody, and don't let anybody hurt you. And definitely do not jump out of the airplane without your parachute. Take your time, have fun, enjoy the hobby. No pressure. Again, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, always keep it comics. You know what it is. Peace.